as I had told you earlier, that we would be discussing a case in which we would be easily able to identify how strongly UPSC can pose a question where you would not even come to know, but UPSC would be able to identify and examine your your personal moral fabric and your structure. So let's see with this particular case study that was given by UPSC some years back, most probably in 2016. So we'll just have a look. I'll just read through the case study and we'll just see how to venture into this unknown territory for now. All right. It read, I'm reading the case study. It read, suppose you are an officer in charge of implementing a social service scheme to provide support to old and destitute women. An old and illiterate woman comes to you to avail the benefits of the scheme. However, she has no documents to show that she fulfills the eligibility criteria. But after meeting her and listening to her, you feel that she certainly needs support. Your inquiries also show that she is really destitute and living in a pitiable condition. You are in a dilemma as to what to do. Putting her under the scheme without necessary documents would clearly be violation of rules. Do remember this point? Putting her under the scheme would clearly be violation of rules. But denying her the support would be cruel and inhuman. Remember this statement as well. That denying her support would be cruel and inhuman. So now there are two questions. The first one, can you think of a rational way to resolve this dilemma? And B, give your reasons for it. All right. Any smart people out there, do not answer only in yes or no, because the first question is only this much. Can you think of a rational way to resolve this dilemma? Just don't answer yes or no. Also give the required reason. Then give your reasons for it. All right. Thankfully they have asked, and if they had not, then smart people would have had a problem. Nevertheless, coming back to the point. So over here, the question is very much contemporary and very much dynamic. For whatever we understand that this is a contradiction between your professional duty on one hand and your personal ethics on the other. It is not, basically. Why it is not? Because dedication to public service is at the very core of administration. Now, if you are not dedicated to serve the public, then how come do you expect to become a good public servant? Let alone being a good public servant, how can you even become a public servant when you are not serving the public? Because your initial inquiry shows that she is really destitute and old. You can see anyway, but you know that she is really destitute and she is living in a pitiable condition. But can we simply let go of the rules then? No, we cannot really simply go off the rules. So it is something beyond the professional and personal dilemma. Professionally, you are never been taught that you are not supposed to help the public. Understand that. And more so in contemporary times, the need of contemporary administration is that you are courageous enough to break some rules if the need be. If I'm putting it very straightforward. But you, in case if you find that there is a need, there is a requirement, say I'll give you an example. Now recently you would have seen a case of a particular state MP, that there was this policeman in Corona times who went ahead and gave 500 rupees to a differently abled person. Now we can, and he was in his uniform. Either you can question that how come a person in uniform give 500 rupees to a person who is a vendor, a vegetable or fruit vendor, I don't remember exactly, but how can a person in uniform do that? Or you can appreciate what he did. Because the human psyche works upon motivation. So if you are giving motivation, it will be written. And this is well understood by UPSC as well, and not only UPSC, Administrative Reforms Commission as well. So what is happening in contemporary times, the very need of the contemporary administration, as you can also find it out in Administrative Reforms Commission's report, that the very need of the administration is, the contemporary need of the administration is not worrying too much about the rules and regulations. So in this particular case, you are supposed to do that. See, again, you cannot merely flout it. You are not flouting the rules. You are not skipping the rules. You are realizing that there is a greater issue that is there that is there. Now, either you can keep that issue at bay, or you can really get into that issue and solve it. What you are supposed to do as a contemporary administrator is that you are supposed to get ahead in and solve that, resolve that particular issue. Only with that you would be able to serve the public. Now, one more thing that you need to remember while we are talking about going ahead and doing the needful or providing the benefits of the scheme to the old and destitute lady. With that, you also need to realize that if there is one person like that, there has to be a class of people like that. It's not that this particular lady in isolation is existent. Because if she is not having the identification cards, then there would be other people who would not have identification cards. That would mean that you are supposed to treat her as a class of people and not as a single subject. Again, some people would suggest that you can talk to your seniors, but always remember, what if your seniors say, I do not know, I am busy somewhere, or I do not know, you see as and what your discretion allows you. What would you do then? So always take the charge. Taking charge again is the need of contemporary administration. Why? Because see, earlier the administration was in a particular frame and it was required to do limited things. Today, even development administration you would know, good governance you would know so many concepts, new public management you would know. So all these concepts is forcing or is requiring the bureaucrats or the civil servants or the public servants or the administrators, the IAS, the IPS, the IRS, other allied services. It requires all those people to work pro people and beyond what their regular duties were. So definitely that's how you can move ahead in this. But generally how a person writes or how a candidate writes, it's a contradiction between professional duty and personal duty, which is not the right way to move forward with this. Why not the right way? Because you are going beyond that logic, that there is no contradiction between professional duty and personal moral fabric. And why is there no contradiction? Because professional duty is carrying out a scheme for old and destitute lady for some reason, and that reason is to provide the benefit to old and destitute lady, isn't it? So when you find out someone with having a unique set of problems, you do not seriously disown that lady or that person. You are supposed to own that person and you are supposed to extend the benefits and then try to reach out to other such unique factor holding stakeholders. And that's how you can move ahead and resolve that. So this particular case is one of the phenomenal case studies, which you must remember that it's very subtle way of testing a lot in a civil services aspirant. So with that, thanks a lot.